Hey everyone, welcome back to my chatty, sassy corner here on YouTube where we talk about all things luxury. And today we are hitting on that cross section between luxury fashion and luxury lifestyle. And that's because today we are talking about the Dyson Corrale versus the new Dyson Airstrait. And I just realized looking in the camera that I am matching my hair straighteners. But what happened with these two and why I currently have both of them is that I ordered this one for my birthday. The day after it arrived, this one got launched by Dyson. And I thought, well, since I'm definitely well within the 30-day return period, I'm going to make sure to order both because I want to know which one is going to work better for me. Now that I've done that, I am passing this information on to you guys. I am not a professional stylist. I'm just a regular person who has limited ability with hair. So take this with a grain of salt, but if you are someone like me, hopefully this will help you out in making a decision between one of these two. If you are looking at getting the Airwrap or the Dyson Supersonic hairdryer, I have done a talk about those two products down below. I will link that in the description. So I'm going to talk about this one. Then with just a basic overview, I'll talk about the Airstrait with a basic overview, and then I'll get into the features between the two of them and give you my thoughts. I will go ahead and tell you, for me personally, this is the one that I'm keeping, as is the one that works better for me. That doesn't mean that I think that either one is necessarily better than the other. I think it depends on what you're looking for. I will get into that in the video, but I do think that they are both great. And I will say, yes, I recognize that $500 is extremely expensive for a device, but Dyson devices are honestly, in my opinion, they are worth it because they help with your hair so much. Both of these are $500, but both of these, unlike with my regular straightener, I don't have heat in my hair after these. My hair is not hot to touch after these. It might be a little bit warm, just slightly, but honestly, like, most of the hair was room temperature or cool, and I could tell like my hair's not getting burned. It's coming out looking beautiful and shiny, and so definitely in the long run, as well as with the time savings, whether it's blow drying and then straightening with the Corrale or blow drying and straightening at the same time with the Airstrait, takes me 15 minutes with these guys total. Blow dry and straightener combination, blow dry 10 minutes, straighten for 5, blow dry and straighten for 15. That's because with this one, I'm only having to do one pass per hair section. I have to do 2 to 3 passes with this. Now, a couple of the big differences between these two is going to be that this one is cordless. You have hot plates, and this one obviously has a cord. It's functioning as a fan. So those are going to be your two big differences in how these actually work. But the other really big difference in how you're going to use these, because obviously these are both straighteners, is that your hair has to be dry with this one, but then you can straighten, you can wave, you can curl. This one, your hair can be wet or dry. If it is dry, it took me about 10 minutes to go from really wavy, sort of curly hair to get it down to straighten. Took about 10 minutes. But when I'm drying it takes a total of 15. So if you are someone who you used this, say Monday morning, straightening your hair, getting it all nice and good to go, took you 15 minutes in the morning after you'd washed it. On Tuesday, you get up. It took me about 10 minutes then to re-straighten, but that was after my hair was already all kinky. So I did have to do a couple of extra passes for that. I think if you were just touching it up, you could probably touch up in 5 minutes, which is the same touch-up time that I have for this one if I have to touch up at all. A lot of times I don't even have to touch up next day on my hair with the Corrale. So huge time savings no matter what. Now, when I am using the Corrale, the big thing to note that I think is so cool about this, in addition to the fact like I'm straightening my hair and it is cool, you guys. It comes out cool and I don't know how it's doing that. But it has 3 different temperature settings. I'm using the middle one, which is, I believe, 385 degrees. There's also I think it's 425 and I want to say 330. Yeah, but it actually, like, first off, the plates are super smooth. I've never had such a smooth straightening experience, but it actually pulls your hair in the way that these plates are designed with this flexible nature so that it has a bit of give to it. Normally when I straighten my hair with my other straightener, I have hair coming out the top, I have hair coming out the bottom, getting caught on things. It's a mess. This, like, even when my hair is widely spread, I really genuinely think that it ends up coming in and being like it pulls the hair in and it keeps it in, and so I'm able to just do one pass over each piece of hair. I'm not having to worry about doing multiple passes. That being said, at the end, because I'm doing obviously multiple things of hair, I do one quick pass at the end where I just run it like all the way down just to get sure that my ends are all together and not in separate different pieces. That doesn't happen with this. This is like, have you guys been in bathrooms where like you have like the Dyson hand dryers where like you stick your hands down in and it blows your hands dry? That's what this is doing to your hair. This is a hand dryer for your hair. That's the best way that I can explain it. There are some really neat features. You lay this down and it shuts off. If you're just holding it open, it's blowing on low. If you close it and you have it set to high, that is when it jumps up to high. Also, I'm holding this, you actually straighten it with the hair going this way. One of the nice things about this is that you are able to get wider swaths of hair. That being said, the hair, and it didn't really seem to matter how small my hair portion was unless it was really, really small. And even then, I still had some flyaways. Flying out the top, flying out the bottom some. Not as much, and it's not snagging the way that it does with a regular hair straightener for me, but that is something to note, is that that is flying away, which does contribute to me having to do multiple passes over my hair. Again, my hair's not receiving the same damage. This one has a lot more settings to it. You can see the heat. There is a 285, which I'm on. There's also a lower and a higher setting. Then you've got the fan, which you've got a higher low fan. You have the cool, which is supposedly supposed to like reionize your hair. I've not seen that happening. Honestly, it makes my hair more staticky. So I do not use that cooling feature. I did not like it. And then you have the wet or dry feature. So if you are doing a fully wet, just jumped out of the shower like I did in my footage, that is what you are going to be using as the wet. If you're doing touch up in the morning, which is what I did for today's hair, then you will be using the dry function. So definitely more function versatility as far as like the options that you have for settings, but more types of things that you can do with this. You are only drying and straightening at the same time your hair with this. You are not curling your hair with this. I have tried, I've seen professional stylists try. It's not gonna happen. This one though, you can, I've not had success creating waves, but I have had success creating curls with this one. The Corrale is what works for me for what I need. But who else might this work for? I think if you are someone like me where you have a lot of Dyson products, then you're going to want to go with this Corrale because I think that's going to fit in with your other Dyson products the best. But I think that if you are someone who you want your straightener to either be on the go, maybe you're someone who your hairstyle very much depends on traffic and you don't know what that traffic's going to be until you get to the office, you can bring this with you in your work bag, do your hair in the car before you walk in. If you are someone who you like to be able to curl your hair, to wave your hair, to straighten your hair, you can do all of that with this, but you just need to have some sort of a dryer to dry your hair beforehand. However, if you are someone who you are only going to be straightening your hair, this is the one to go with because you don't need to have two devices. You just get to go with one, straighten and dry your hair all at one time. And if I were someone who all I did was straighten my hair, and I do think that I'm going to be straightening my hair a lot more often, this is definitely worth it. But I think that for me, this one just gives me a little bit more travel versatility since that's the big selling feature, is that it's cordless and therefore can travel easily. Obviously this one has a cord, it's not going with you in your car. But what about the way that it looks when it's straightened? I've not had an issue with either of these on flyaways, with frizz, with anything like that, with my hair losing its straightness throughout the day. So you get a very nice smooth look. Also, I do not have any issue with lines created by a straightener. That is one of the reasons why I hated straightening my hair before, is that I would always get lines no matter what I did. I get 0 lines with this. I got 0 lines with this. Now, the other thing about this that I think is really nice about how you straighten is that like the part up next to my scalp, I always felt like with a traditional straightener would look kind of droopy and stuck to my head. I have not experienced that with either of these. I do feel like I get better volume with the Corrale, but I think that I still got good volume with the Airstrait. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is that when I was using the Corrale, and when I used the Corrale, I do truly feel that this device gives me a very professionally straightened look. However, this one gives me a more natural straight. So if you are going for a more natural straight, pick this one. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. If it has, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and leave a comment letting me know. Also leave a comment with any questions that you have, as I will be holding on to this one for a couple more days and this one forever.